I get a ton of people reaching out asking questions about whether or not they should leverage a mortgage, leverage financing, or pay cash for a property up here in the greater Reno, Nevada area. Stick around because in this video we are going to go through all things related to mortgages that you need to know if you're considering buying a property with financing or with cash. All right, hey guys, Logan Allen Williamson here, representing Williamson Professional Real Estate Sales. You know that this channel is dedicated 100% to all things related to what it's like to eat, sleep, work, live, and play up here in the greater Reno, Nevada, Northern Nevada area. Now, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Logan Williamson. I'm a full-time real estate agent up here in the area, licensed in both Nevada and California. And I'm getting people that are reaching out with so many questions related to mortgages, what they should know, maybe what they should avoid as far as mistakes. And in this video, I'm bringing on a very special guest, a friend of mine, a strategic partner, and one of the top lenders here in the area, Trevor York with All Western Mortgage. We're going to discuss the biggest mistakes he's seeing clients making when they're reaching out to open a conversation about pre-qualifying for a mortgage, some of the mistakes to avoid after you've been pre-qualified, while trying to get under contract, trying to approach your close date, assuming that we can get you across the finish line, and just a lot of things that you can anticipate. You know, people are reaching out with so many questions related to loan products, conventional loans, FHA loans, VA loans, physician's loans, first responder loans. What's going to be right for you? And that's all going to be dependent on your financial plan. Trevor's going to break down a few things for you in this video. I'll tell you what, if you find value in this content, please give this video a like. It helps us reach way more people just like you that are potentially considering a move up here to the greater Reno, Nevada area. And if you're new to the tribe, new to the vibe, consider subscribing to the channel. I'd love to have you around, and hopefully we provide a ton of value with this content, so it's going to be something that you're going to want to frequent and come back to more often. So, all that being said, and without further ado, we've got Trevor. We're ready to rock and roll, so I hope you guys find value in this video. Make sure you comment below any questions that you do have. All Trevor's information and all my information to contact us both is going to be in this video and below, so reach out with absolutely any questions that you may have.
Yep.
All right.
Let's do it.
Nothing loose. Piece of cake. All right, hey everybody, Logan here. Thank you again for stopping by. As usual, we've got a lot to cover, so we're going to dive right in. I'm here today with somebody that's going to be really helpful and really valuable for all of you that are asking questions related to leveraging financing, which means getting a mortgage for your property. Now, a lot of the folks that are frequenting this channel are reaching out that are looking to relocate up here to Reno, and there are a couple strategic things, tactical things that you need to do to leverage financing, and that's going to come down to working with your lender. So Trevor York, strategic partner and a good friend of mine with All Western Mortgage. Trev, thanks for jumping on.
Yeah, thanks, man. I'm stoked to finally be on one of these videos. I watched them all, and it's cool to be on the other end with you.
Well, we're going to keep it loose. We're going to keep it casual, but at the same time, I try to provide as much valuable information as I can. I've got a great audience, and as we know, providing value is something that's really important. So as you all are reaching out to me, one of the things that's happening frequently are these same questions over and over again. A lot of people are very, very hesitant to get into this market right now because, as we know, things are quote unquote expensive, give or take. But Trevor, if you can just touch on the cost of waiting, a lot of people are so hesitant. They want to time the market, jump in 6 months, 18 months from now. And what we're seeing, what you're seeing a lot of, is how that can be detrimental. So if you can just touch on that, that'd be really helpful.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many factors in this, and you just touched on them right before this, which is like time in the market beats timing the market, right? So without going into that actual cost, because the part I see day in and day out is the effects of interest rates on people's payments. So unless you're buying cash, your mortgage payment is a really big factor when you're buying a house.
Your mortgage payment is a big factor.
So your mortgage payment is a really big factor when you're buying a house. So for reference, your interest rate moving 0.5%, which we've seen in this market, that could happen in a week. That's the equivalent of a house moving, a $400,000 house moving by like $25,000 in value.
Okay.
Which is crazy because you don't see $25,000 in movement in a week. You can absolutely see that in interest rates. Right now, we're still at some of the historically low interest rates we've ever seen. So that is one of the biggest opportunities that I'm seeing that would be missed if you do wait.
So when people are reaching out to me and they're saying, hey, we are looking potentially at waiting 6 months, they're talking about prices dipping, stabilizing, or even declining 5 to 10%. Trevor, I think what you're saying, and just to clarify for the audience, just to make sure that I'm understanding correctly, the cost of waiting, even if prices do decline 5 to 10%, what you may be looking at with a difference in 0.25% or whatever it may be in an interest rate over the lifetime of the loan, you're ultimately losing money over the course of time, regardless of what prices are doing up front. Is that pretty accurate?
Yep. So your bang for your buck's going to be a lot heavier now, and actually the interest over a 30-year term, if you never refinanced or sold it, is actually going to be a lot worse. Even if the house goes down, your interest rate going up is going to have a huge impact on that.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you. And then the second thing, just jumping in with another thing that I get asked constantly is, well, we want to go, we're looking at different companies online. With one click, we can get pre-qualified. I have my own horrific horror stories of a lot of different things, which we won't touch on here due to lack of time. But Trevor, in your humble opinion, why would somebody want to work with a strategic partner of a real estate agent, or even somebody that is hyper local, that's just a local, trustworthy, locally licensed partner?
Yeah, I mean, because the I think the main allure of some of these online lenders is ease, right? Yeah. And I totally get that. I mean, we do a lot of our work on the internet, sure. But the thing is, a lot of local lenders have these same tools that these online lenders, these big banks do. So there's no real advantage to going with one of these out-of-state or online lenders. And the advantages of working with someone local are actually pretty heavy. I mean, as a real estate agent, you could speak to this. In a market like this, if offers come in and you're a listing agent, you're looking at them, when you see a pre-approval come from big bank, out-of-state lender, there's some red flags that pop in your head, and you're less likely to accept that offer, all things similar. So having a local lender who has a network of agents that they work with, when you're writing offers, that ups your...
Well, to give you a quick example, if I'm a listing agent and multiple offers come in, and quite frankly, we're in multiple offer situations very often up here, even though we've seen a bit of a softening with buyer demand currently. As we move into spring, we'll be right back where we were last year. The first thing a diligent listing agent is going to do is they're going to reach out to the lender who is on paper for the pre-qualification. Now, Trevor's here to answer his phone. He's local. So having a reputation with these agents, one, does give you a leg up in a competitive offer situation. And two, moving into the tail end of an escrow, when we're moving towards a clear to close, or anything that could be a hiccup, the appraisal or anything else. The beauty of having partners that work together locally is that I know where to find people, and at the worst, absolute worst case scenario, if I need to come knock on a door and get an answer throughout, a horrific escrow, we have the ability to do that. So without giving any more horror stories, I think that's exactly what you're alluding to.
Yeah, there's definitely like a level of accountability that I'm held to that I wouldn't if I wasn't in this state.
Accountability. Okay, I think that sums it up. Okay, so moving right along, documentation that is going to be required. So when somebody comes in and they open the conversation, and so many people are waiting because they're seeing it as a daunting task to come to a lender and say, hey, I'm ready to get pre-qualified. What do I need? They're scared. What documentation should they have in advance, and how can they anticipate that conversation even opening with you?
Yeah, so I mean, I could definitely understand the hesitation of starting to work with a lender. When I bought my house back 6-7 years ago now, I was kind of in the same boat. I was even in finance. I got my degree in marketing, finance, and studied economics, and I was still unsure of what the process looked like. I was nervous. I thought it was overwhelming. The truth is, it's like a really straightforward and easy process, and it's nothing to be concerned about. So our entire process up front can be done online super easily from your house. You fill out the application, and we'll see where you're at. So the basic documentation that we need are pay stubs, bank statements, tax returns, and W-2s. That's pretty much it to get the ball rolling. After that, we'll chase down a few like clerical items or stuff that comes up during the process, but it's a really non-threatening way to start a loan.
Okay. Yeah. And then I know quite a few of you are looking at potentially, you have job offers that may start in Q3 or in late fall of this year. You're saying, when is it too early to reach out to a lender? When is it too late? Do I want to go shop properties before I'm pre-qualified? How soon should people be reaching out to you?
So that's as soon as you have the idea of buying a house, I think you should go through the process of being qualified, even if that's a year out. Yep.
Okay.
Because what happens is when you go through this pre-qual, we could put a plan together to get you in the best possible position. Sometimes that takes a month. Sometimes it could take 6 months. So if you think you're going to buy in the next 2 weeks and you go through the pre-qual process, it's not going to be as advantageous if you do that ahead of time. So I don't think there's a situation in which it's too early to get pre-qualified. But there's definitely a lot of situations which it's too late, which I think you could speak to.
Yeah, we do. I mean, both of us, we see that a ton. And Trevor is reiterating a lot of things that I've spoken to you guys about on this channel. So it's nice to actually have this come from another licensed professional in the industry. As far as the biggest mistakes that people may make when they're coming to you and they're going, hey, Trevor, help me out. Now I'm pre-qualified. Maybe we're not shopping, or we don't actually get under contract for another 3 months from now. What are the biggest mistakes that you see clients making from the pre-qualification to going under contract to actually getting at the closing table, getting closed?
So I think the biggest mistakes come from once people go through the pre-qual process, they feel like everything's solidified. So they have an idea of where their finances are. We pulled their credit. We've looked at it. So then they start to make these big life decisions while they're buying a house. So they're changing jobs. They're taking out lines of credit. They're buying cars. Those are things that could kill your deal. So if you get pre-qualified and you're still looking at houses, run these really big life decisions through your lender just to see if it's something that can kill your deal. Because a lot of times they're going to tell you to wait, or they're going to tell you how to go about that in the right way, and make sure that it's something that's not going to affect you buying a house.
Thank you. And one of the things that I want you guys to consider just in closing here is working with a licensed local professional that does a decent volume of business, that is an absolute industry leading expert, is so important. And the reason for that is because this is not common knowledge for a lot of folks. This is daunting. We're not talking about going and buying a Hot Wheels, at Toys R Us. We're talking about purchasing one of the biggest investments of your life. So these, not even tips, tricks, or strategies, but these professional pieces of guidance that are given to you from your lender or your real estate agent as professionals in the industry, these are things that can save you a lot of money and potentially help you execute on a plan that you may not otherwise have the opportunity to do by working with somebody that doesn't, quite frankly, just know their stuff. So Trevor, thanks for jumping on, man. I know that was super helpful for everybody. All of Trevor's contact information is going to be either in this video or below in the description. If you guys have absolutely any questions, you're going to know where to find us.
Awesome. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Trevor.
Whew. Okay, guys, I hope you found value in that. Like I said, Trevor is one of the top lenders here in town, and if you have any questions directly for Trevor or myself, please reach out. If you haven't already done so, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more real estate related content about what it's like to live, eat, sleep, work, or play up here in Reno. Getting clients that are contacting me from all over the world with real estate related questions. And if you have any of those questions, I would love to chat with you. It's never too soon to reach out, but it could be too late. So come on back for the next one. Talk to you soon.